There was a moment, late at night, staring at my computer screen, when I seriously considered quitting. 4 years ago, I started working on a PhD in strategic media from Liberty University. I knew it would be challenging, but I had no idea just how difficult it would be. The workload was relentless. I had to juggle my studies with running SermonView, ministry, family life. There were times when I felt completely overwhelmed, convinced that I didn't have the strength to keep going. In those moments, I asked myself 2 questions that kept me going. So in this episode, I'm going to share those questions and then give you 5 reasons why these 2 questions are so powerful. Hi, I'm Larry Witzel. This is Ministry Insights from SermonView. I'm so honored that you're taking a few minutes to listen to the podcast. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you find the message valuable, please subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. Today, I'm sharing 2 questions that have the power to bring clarity, fuel perseverance, and keep you on the path that God has called you to. I can tell you right now, working on my PhD has been one of the hardest things that I've ever done. There were moments when I lost motivation. The writing felt endless, so much writing. The weekly deadlines were like a steady drip that taxed my ability to persevere. And in those moments of exhaustion, when I just didn't have another word to write, I would ask myself 2 questions. What do you really want? And how much do you want it? That second question especially forced me to be honest. How much do you want this, Larry? Every time I asked, I realized I wanted it enough to keep going. In the end, it wasn't even about the credentials or the letters after my name. The experience itself changed me, and finishing was so gratifying. Answering these questions got me through the hardest seasons of my PhD journey. Of course, these 2 questions don't just apply to academics. They apply to every big challenge in life and ministry. They are a powerful tool that bring clarity, fuel perseverance, and help us stay on the path that God has called us to. What do you really want? How much do you want it? Let me give you 5 reasons why these questions are so powerful and how they can help you in your ministry and life. First, they bring clarity to your calling. One of the biggest reasons we get stuck is because we don't have clarity. We're grinding away, feeling exhausted, but we haven't stopped to ask, what am I really pursuing? That's exactly what happened with a young entrepreneur that I've been mentoring. In the last episode of Ministry Insights, I talked about how you can't serve 2 masters, that you need to do what you're wired to do and let God provide the resources. This entrepreneur had started a digital marketing business to fund her dream of volunteering as a nurse overseas. But after 6 months of working with me, she was struggling. Few clients, no motivation, no success. She was really discouraged. If you heard the last episode, you might see where this is headed. As we talked, I realized that her heart was not in marketing. It was in caring for people. This was obvious to me, but I wanted her to figure it out for herself. So I asked her the 2 questions. What do you really want? And how much do you want it? That conversation changed everything for her. Months later, she emailed me back saying, I've been wrestling in my mind with what to do about the business. And when you asked me those 2 questions, I began to have clarity. And while I don't have the full answer, I decided that marketing is not what I really want to do, and so it's time to move in a new direction. My reply, that's awesome. Now you know something that you're not supposed to do. It was freeing to know what not to do. If you're feeling stuck, ask yourself, what do you really want? You may find that the thing you've been chasing isn't actually what God is calling you to pursue. Second, these questions can reignite your motivation. Ministry can be exhausting. The long hours, the expectations, the weight of responsibility, it can all take a toll. Some days you may wonder if it's even worth it. In those moments, stop and ask yourself, what do I really want? Am I doing this because I feel called or just because I feel obligated? And how much do I want this? Am I willing to fight through the challenges? That second question was the real game changer for me during my PhD journey. How much do you want this, Witzel? I asked that so many times. And every time I asked, I realized I wanted it enough to keep going. Your answers to these questions might be the push you need to rediscover your passion and keep going. Third, these questions help you focus on what matters most. The Apostle Paul understood this. In Philippians 3, he wrote, "I focus on this one thing, forgetting the past and looking forward to what lies ahead. I press on to reach the end of the race and receive the heavenly prize for which God, through Christ Jesus, is calling us." Paul wasn't distracted by a million different things. He knew exactly what he wanted, and he wanted it enough to endure suffering, persecution, and hardship. Ministry can be full of distractions, meetings, emails, conflicts, and tasks that pull us in different directions. But these two questions help us focus on what truly matters. What's the one thing God is calling you to pursue right now? Fourth, these questions give you permission to let go. Sometimes we chase things out of obligation rather than a genuine calling. These questions can help you realize when it's time to let go of something that isn't right for you. That young entrepreneur I mentioned, she had to admit that digital marketing wasn't what she really wanted. It took courage because she had spent a year of her life and thousands of dollars to start this business. But once she faced that truth, she was free to move in a new direction. If you're feeling drained and uninspired, maybe it's time to ask, is this what I really want? Am I pursuing this because God has called me to it or because I feel like I have to? When you answer honestly, you may discover that it's okay to pivot, to step away from something that no longer aligns with your true calling. And finally, these two questions help build the grit that you need to succeed. Psychologist Angela Duckworth has spent years studying what separates high achievers from everyone else. Her research, compiled in her book, Grit, The Power of Passion and Perseverance, found that grit, the combination of long-term passion and sustained effort, is the most significant predictor of success. And that's exactly what these two questions help you evaluate. What do you really want speaks to the passion side of the equation, and how much do you want it speaks to perseverance. John Maxwell put it this way: you'll never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. If your honest answer to these questions aligns with the path that you're on, then keep going. So, I have two questions for you. These questions can help bring clarity to your calling. They can reignite your motivation. They can help you focus on what matters most and give you permission to let go when you're not on the right path. And these questions help build the grit that you need to succeed. What do you really want? And how much do you want it? Your honest answers to these questions just might change your life. Was this helpful to you? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment on YouTube or send an email to podcast@SermonView.com. And please share this episode with two people who need to ask themselves these two questions. A lot of pastors wrestle with how to fund ministry. I sat through a seminar once where the speaker said the answer is simple: start a business on the side to generate income for your ministry. Well, I've got 3 reasons why, for most pastors, that's actually a terrible idea. Check it out in the last episode of Ministry Insights from SermonView. Pastor, the enemy wants you to believe that your work doesn't matter. But let me tell you, he's wrong. If you ask yourself these 2 questions and your answers point to the work that you're doing, then hang in there. God is using you to change lives, shape hearts, expand his kingdom. You are right where he wants you to be. So thank you for your faithfulness. I love you guys. I'm cheering for you. We'll see you next time.